There are three kinds of people in the world financially: the haves, the have-nots, and the ones who have not paid for what they have. That third group is the largest one in history. And if you carry a credit card balance, a car note, or a loan you cannot walk away from, you are in it. In the next 9 minutes, you are going to see debt in a way you can never unsee. And by the end, you will understand exactly which debts are strategic, which debts are quietly destroying you, and the one hidden root cause that keeps pulling people back into the red no matter how much money they make. And stay for the credit card breakdown in the middle of this video, because once you hear what one famous card's name really stands for, you will never swipe it the same way again. Start with a verse written almost 3,000 years ago, long before credit scores and car loans existed. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is a slave to the lender. Not a customer of the lender, not a partner of the lender, a slave. That sounds extreme until you test it. Anyone who believes they truly own their home can try a simple experiment. Call the mortgage company and announce that no payments will be made for the next 3 months. The response will reveal very quickly who actually owns that house. When your money is legally obligated to someone else before you ever touch it, you do not have full freedom. You have permission. And this is not a small problem. The average American carries 7 to 8 credit cards. More than 1.5 million people file for personal bankruptcy every single year, even while the economy grows. And the burden is not spread evenly. Studies show that nearly half of black households have damaged credit, compared to about a quarter of white households, and delinquency rates follow the same painful pattern. These are communities that fought for freedom for generations, now bound by a different kind of chain. Harriet Tubman is often credited with a haunting line: "I freed 1,000 slaves, and I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves." That is the real danger of debt. It normalizes itself. Living paycheck to paycheck starts to feel like just how life is. The chains stop feeling like chains. So here is the first action step, and it costs nothing. Add up every dollar you owe, every card, every loan, every balance, and write the total on one piece of paper. You cannot escape a prison you refuse to look at. But awareness alone changes nothing. To actually break free, you need to know your enemy, because not all debt behaves the same way. Which brings us to the classification that changes everything. There are 2 categories: strategic debt and dumb debt. Strategic debt is borrowing where the underlying asset can grow in value or produce income. A mortgage can qualify because a well-bought home should hold or increase its value, meaning that if trouble comes, it can be sold to clear the loan. Business debt can qualify when borrowed money buys inventory or equipment that generates revenue. Education can qualify when the training genuinely raises earning power. But notice the word can. In 2008, housing prices collapsed and millions of people learned that even strategic debt carries teeth. The safest rule is simple. Good debt is really no debt, and strategic debt is a calculated risk, never a free pass. Then there is dumb debt, and this is where families bleed out. Financial expert Dave Ramsey is famously ruthless about credit cards, and when asked why, his answer is simple. 80% of people cannot handle them. Not because they are stupid, but because the entire system is engineered against them. One popular card is called Visa. Think of it as volunteering for institutional slavery always. Voluntary, because nobody forces anyone to sign up. Institutional, because massive corporations profit from the dysfunction. Slavery, because it is debt. And always, because minimum payments are mathematically designed to last forever. There is a card where people discover just how deep in debt they really are. There is a card called Freedom that delivers the opposite. Dumb debt means borrowing for consumables, for groceries, for lifestyle, for things that are gone before the bill arrives. And it means financing depreciating items, because owing more on a car than the car is worth is a trap with a steering wheel. Now here is the deepest layer, the part almost nobody talks about. Why do people keep reaching for dumb debt even after they know better? Because debt is rarely a math problem. It is a heart problem. People swipe to feel a rush. People buy to fill a void. People finance a lifestyle to keep up with neighbors who are themselves drowning in payments to keep up with someone else. The engine underneath most consumer debt is a lack of contentment, wanting what others have, being unhappy with what is already in the house. The Apostle Paul, a man who experienced both abundance and prison, wrote something remarkable. I have learned to be content. Learned. Contentment is not a personality trait some people are born with. It is a skill, practiced daily, and it is the single greatest debt prevention tool ever created, because the person who is content cannot be marketed into bondage. Here is the honest reality check. No budgeting app, no payoff method, no side hustle will free someone whose heart still believes the next purchase will make them whole. The chains have to break on the inside first. So now you can see the trap clearly. You know the verse, you know the categories, and you know the route. But seeing the prison is not the same as walking out of it. There is a specific, practical escape sequence, a set of steps that determines the exact order to attack your debts, where the payoff money actually comes from, and the one move that can accelerate the whole process dramatically. That full escape plan is broken down step by step in this next video right here. Watch it now, because knowing you are a slave is painful, but staying one is optional.